back here in Portsmouth, Ohio at the Battle in the 740 at Shawnee State University for our final matchup of the game presented by Yamo Sports. This matchup between South Point High School and Ashland of Kentucky. Seth Donahoe here alongside Julian Jackson. And Julian, it's been a long day, but we have made it here to the end.
This is it. This is for all the marbles right here. Ashland out of Kentucky. Man, a three-point shot already here by a nice shot from Lalonde.
Yeah, Tyson Lalonde coming out quickly and getting things started here for Ashland. Ashland, as you had mentioned, they are over the river in Kentucky, but only a stone's throw away from South Point, about 10 or 15 minutes there for these schools. So we're going to get a shooting foul here.
And that's Caleb Lovely there. He was putting it up, and instead we see him getting fouled during the act, so he's going to the line to shoot three, Seth.
And Caleb Lovely, he's going to be one of those guys to watch out here for this Pointers squad.
Yeah, he's 22 points per game last year, all district, all state player. So he's definitely one of those guys to look forward to. And Coach Wise is entering his 10th season at the helm with South Point, and she's over 100 wins as a head coach. He just hit that last season.
Yeah, 100 wins in 10 seasons. As you'd mentioned, the district player of the year also in Caleb Lovely. So he's looking to get his team started off here, the senior guard. And Julian, on this roster here for South Point, majority upperclassmen and 3 freshmen, no sophomores actually.
No, they don't have any sophomores, but I think we can look forward to seeing a few of these freshmen come out and play. And number 5, you'll see Devon Lewis, also Ethan Hunt out of number 32, and then a London Jackson. So we can look forward to seeing some of those fellas in the rotation as well.
Is able to get 1 to fall down. That's lovely on those free throws attempts. Three-pointer is up and good. Nice knockdown there from number 33.
Yeah, Nate Freeze.
Looking for a 33 here on this roster. Nate Freeze, okay. A couple of them wearing 2 jerseys, potentially a home and away jersey.
Yep, working with what you got, and it's not all about looking fancy. You can come out and play in Dickies if you got to, but it seems like...
If you're winning games.
Yeah, as long as you're winning games, that's all that matters.
Nice shot there by Lovely.
Yeah, Lovely with the smooth stroke.
Ashland, the Tomcats, coming off their 5th consecutive 16th regional title, and 16th regional title, excuse me. Led by second-year head coach Ryan Bonner, bringing a lot of toughness and energy. And I think one thing he forgot to mention is they like to shoot outside shots. Is they've got a couple threes here to start this game.
And another thing that Coach Wise from South Point had said, this is going to be a good experience for the team. They're, looking at a couple of, it's a big game for different schools, and they're looking to step outside of their comfort zone. So that's where they want to be in this contest and moving forward through the rest of the season.
Yeah, and South Point ended up losing in the sectional championship to appearing in the regional final before losing to Afrocentric, who had an incredible year last year. And being able to compete with
Swain, was certainly, he was definitely a nominated player of the year. I don't believe that he got it.
Not sure he received Mr. Ohio, but he definitely in contention.
He was in contention his junior year as well. I don't know where he's going to end up, but with Dalen Swain, I know, he should already be somewhere now, as a matter of fact.
I believe he is a freshman this year at the collegiate level. Check our records on that. But yeah, one of the reasons Afrocentric had a good year the past year or two. And another 3 here by Tyson Lalonde, as he's got his second 3 knocked down. And I was noticing in warm-ups, Julian, the Ashland Tomcats were taking and knocking down quite a bit of outside shots.
Yeah, if that's the case, they could really be running this one down. But right now, Ashland taking another 3-shot attempt. And if that's the case, South Point could be in some trouble.
Yep. Got to make sure that you defend that 3-point line, especially with a good 3-point shooting team, as Looks like Xander Carter's going to pick up a foul here, potentially a little aggressive there on that missed layup attempt.
Number 11, I'm looking at him. He definitely looks like a ball player in Austin Evans.
Austin Evans, absolutely here.
Austin Evans playing with South Point, yeah.
Yes, South Point.
You know, and I think I was actually referring to number 11 with Braxton Jennings with Ashland. He looks like a ball player for sure. Big hair, got the leg sleeve thing going on, little swag.
Yeah, no, that is a sturdy kid down there is looking to help the Tomcats get a win. A nice transition offense, beautiful lay-in there by Tyson Lalonde. And real quick, South Point's coach not too happy with how they've started this game. And we are going to go ahead and have a timeout here, and we check out these highlights. Good defense there by Nate Freeze, straight up, pushing the ball up the floor, and a beautiful find there to Lalonde for the easy transition bucket. But Julian, we've seen as the South Point Pointers are down right now 11-3, almost halfway through this first quarter. A majority of the games have started off this way that we have been broadcasting today. Some teams starting off to a little bit of a slow start, and again, in a showcase like this, these teams teams in these showcases are normally never going to play each other outside in like the regular season and such. So it's good for them to get in here and that first few minutes you got to feel each other out, because you've never played. South Point has never played a team, you know, I don't want to say never, but doesn't play a team from Kentucky in their regular schedule. There's a nice backdoor pass to Lovely, and he can't finish.
Yeah, these old Pointer dogs here, you know, sometimes you can start off slow in these contests, Seth, and that's okay. But they also, you know, delayed. They were supposed to start here at 8 o'clock. We've been running a little bit behind today, but also due to some extenuating circumstances, a couple of talks over with some referees, a couple technicals in the last game, and then, of course, the starting off boys overtime with Bishop Hartley winning that one 51-50, and, of course, Ja'Kai Calloway being the player of the game in that contest. So it's that's something you really think about. It's just, you know, how long these guys have to sit around and then playing a game this late in the evening. Typically, they'd be finishing up here in about 30 minutes on a Friday or Saturday night with the game tipping off at 7. So, you know, it's a little bit later for some of these fellas. You don't know if they played a game last night or, you know, how many games they played so far this season. But, yeah, it could start off a little lopsided.
And nice finish there as ball finds number 24, Braden Hanshaw, excuse me. They're able to cut that little deficit down to 6, 11-5. Ashland on top here, and a 3 taken by your man Austin Evans. Gets halfway down before rolling out.
Yeah, that was Braxton Jennings from Ashland taking that shot. The other number 11.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say Nate Freeze trying to make something happen with that rebound right along the baseline. Unfortunately, has to end up turning it over. So Pointers will keep possession underneath their own basket. 3:09 remaining here in this first quarter.
You know, they're continuing to kind of struggle a little bit. It seems like Ashland has got a body on everyone. They're moving around really well and just kind of swallowing these guys up. And South Point has yet to find an answer for that with 3:05 remaining. They're down 6.
And Caleb Lovely with a turnover there on the baseline. A little bit of a slow start for him, I'm sure, by his standards. Ashland brings the ball up here with under 3 minutes now in this first quarter.
You know, and South Point should be off, though, to a pretty decent start. They've got several returning starters. Of course, you have, you got Caleb Lovely with the 22 points per game, all-district, all-state guy. But then you've got Zathan Haney, who's also another returner, and then Carter Smith. Haney's wearing number 10, Smith's wearing number 3, Lovely's in 0. Those are your 3 players to watch for this one, and they're 0-1 right now after they lost to Lancaster. So Coach Travis Wise said they're just looking to get better this season.
Yeah. Talking about those players, that's 6 seniors for South Point, 3 juniors and 3 freshmen. So a lot of leadership and responsibility here being put on the senior squad this season. Nice to see bodies get there on the floor, hustling for that loose ball. South Point is going to end up with it. Here comes a corner three, just off the mark.
Yeah, that was Ethan Haney there.
Ethan Haney.
And they'll find themselves eventually. Sometimes it just takes a little time to settle in, but this thing's not out of reach for them.
And that ball is going to be turned over there by Asher Adkins. He was expecting Nate Freeze to roll, which Freeze did have a wide open lane on that roll. Instead, Freeze was trying to pop, turned it over, and on the other end, number 24, and Braden Henshaw is going to convert.
Compete, compete, compete. That's what it's going to be about. And I'll tell you right now, it looks like they're already giving Carter Smith a hard time as he's trying to run through little screens.
Man, Tyson Lalonde off to a hot start and with 3 threes in this first quarter. He's got 11 of the team's 17.
That is that's quite a bit there to have in the first. Oh boy, he almost had himself some more cookies.
Lalonde with his hand in the bread basket, but couldn't get anything out of it as that three's knocked down by Carter Smith.
Yeah, Carter Smith definitely making some noise in here. He's one of their returning starters.
Yep.
You know, I feel like I've seen him play elsewhere. He may have very well played in some of the just the running arounds that they did in Columbus. 270 Hoops was hosting some stuff with a basketball arena. I don't know if that was IBT or not. I can't remember, but this kid really looks familiar.
Knocked down, step back three right there by number 11, Braxton Jennings.
Yeah, Braxton Jennings, when I said looks like a ball player, got a couple fingers taped up, man, and this guy, he just looks like he knows how to play. And those shoes are sweet. I don't know what they are. I can't say I want them. I don't think I can make them look as good, but he looks like a player.
You might get them dirtied up outside of a basketball court.
I don't know if I can wear them like that kid.
Nice take right there by Josh Childers, but couldn't get it to convert. Freeze coming the other way. He's got a couple of threes himself in this first quarter. He's going to try for a third one. That one's good, Nate Freeze knocking down the deep shot.
Nate Freeze, the big man. I mean, you can be versatile like that, and you can come out and play and have some fun with it too. That's what it's all about. Like I say, these big men always want the roles of some of the younger guys or some of the smaller guys. Be agile, be quick, take threes, and he's serving his purpose right now. That's good for Nate Freeze.
He is. 1 quarter in the books here, and Ashland of Kentucky has a 23-10 lead on top of South Point. You're listening to the battle in the 7-4-0, presented by Yamo Sports.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
pretzel bun? On the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new Pretzel Baconator.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere! What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref, let the boys play.
Battle in the 7-4-0 between Ashland of Kentucky and South Point for our final game here on Saturday night. And things were cooking for number 33, Nate Freeze. 3 threes in that first quarter, and he's helped this Tomcats team take a 23-10 lead over the Pointers. Seth Donahoe here alongside Julian Jackson. Julian, first inaugural battle of the 7-4-0, and it has been exciting all day.
It has been. It has been electric. You know, 7 games packed into one day, starting at 11 a.m. Last game set for tip-off at 8. We got in here a little bit late, but we know that was due to, of course, the overtime and then some additional games. It really just went down to the wire. Lots of timeouts, lots of fouls. Excited to be here for this contest. We started off with 3 girls games to start, finishing up with 4 boys games, and now it's South Point versus Ashland of Kentucky. And as we said, they're only a stone's throw away from each other. 2 close teams, and it's nice to see some teams from out of state. This is the second one we've seen. This one from Kentucky and Ashland, but we've also seen Huntington from West Virginia. So it's good to mix in a little bit of that down here in this area code.
Absolutely it is, as Caleb Lovely gets things started here for the Pointers. Nice little elevating up and under. And he's got 5 of the team's 12 points so far here. 1 minute into the second period. A 3 is going to be taken by Reggie Bechtel, the senior big man, and that one comes up a little bit short.
And now coming back on the floor, there's Nate Freeze and 33s. You can tell he loved threes enough, huh? He's wearing it on his chest, wearing it on his back, and he likes taking a lot of them, and he's making a lot of them, so you can do that.
Is that, would you technically clarify that as putting that out into existence, speaking it out into the world, and whatever you put out comes back to you?
I think that could be his prerogative. He's like, yeah, I'm wearing threes on my chest.
And I'm going to make them.
Everyone knows what I'm going to do. Yeah. Speaking it into existence. Call it what you want it, but the good law of attraction there for that kid. Nate Freeze is lighting it up right now.
Yeah, 3 threes for him alongside Tyson Lalonde. He has 3 threes as well, leading all scorers with 11 points, Lalonde is. Great dump down pass there as South Point guard Davin Lewis.
Braden Hanshaw, number
able
24.
to find Brandon Hanshaw. A nice take here by, it's going to be Xander Carter, and he lands. He lands a little hard right there, as I believe he's going to get called for that foul. Comes up a little bit slow.
Yeah, offensive foul for him. Sometimes you got to keep your body in control, and he had to pay for it on that one.
Another solid kid entering the game here for Ashland, number 5, Asher Adkins.
And then we've got Elijah Wilburn, another senior, about to check in for South Point at the next whistle. So getting a solid rotation on. Their bench doesn't look as deep as it is on the roster. So I think that Ashland is definitely more equipped. They've got additional chairs they needed down there. Several assistants, and then a full load on Ashland's bench.
And their team photo shows quite a bit there on their roster, as you mentioned as well, assistant coaches as well. A basket is going to be counted for number 32, Caleb Clark, as the foul, as you see right there, going to go against Braden Hanshaw, absorbing that contact and able to finish, as you see right there, Wilburn checking in.
Well, in this game, it's an 11-point lead now for Ashland, and under 6 minutes to go in the first half, and they just want to keep on trucking here. Ashland wants to get in and get out of this one, I think. They seem like they've come here for all business, and they want to go home with the win.
I think, if you're a team like this, a team like Ashland from out of state, or a team like Huntington from West Virginia, you want to come in here and, yeah, this is an Ohio showcase, as Lovely gets that layup to fall. It's an Ohio showcase, but that doesn't mean that an Ohio team has to, quote-unquote, win this showcase.
That's for sure. They're just down here in the area, in the 740 area code. Glad they got the invitation, too. A lot of these teams probably playing in the same league, or at least having some rivalry games. I don't think they'd have a tri-state league, but maybe they do. I don't know. It's something I just can't tell you. But I think it'd be pretty cool if you're able to say, hey, I played against teams from West Virginia. I played against teams from Kentucky. And I think that's what it's all about, as Nate Freeze puts up another 3.
He looks at his hands and he's confused how that one missed so badly by his standards. Here comes Hanshaw the other way, takes an elbow jumper. That one's just a little strong, as Lalonde pulls down the rebound and moves it up the floor. Passes it up ahead to Asher Adkins, over to Braxton Jennings. They're going to go ahead and set up their offense here. Freeze with the ball in his hands.
They don't have a ton of movement to their offense. They have a couple of like to sit out on the perimeter. They make cuts seldomly. That's because everyone can shoot outside of the perimeter, though. And now they have somebody directing traffic in Braxton Jennings. So I'm interested to see what else they can do. But until they get pressed a little more by South Point, I think they're going to keep on shooting.
And that right there, one of their first full offensive sets that I've seen. And it ends up with a Lalonde miss. Some teams, honestly play better without having to have a bunch of offensive play calls and sets. A lot of teams like to play with their tempo, driving into the basket and kicking out. We've seen Ashland be able to do that. Here's a drive in transition. Beautiful Euro step And a nice finish there by Asher Adkins.
And right now, Travis Wise, the head coach for South Point, is extremely vocal in letting these guys know you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. The lead for Ashland's only 12, though. This game is not crazy out of reach, but I think the coach knows that they can execute better than they are, and they haven't been. Yeah. But right there, you're going to see Caleb Lovely coming back, though, for scoring 2 and cutting this lead back to where it needs to be within 10.
Tyson Lalonde driving, kicking out, no doing there for Caleb Clark, as he can't knock down the corner 3. Ball brought up here by Zathan Haney. Over to Davin Lewis. Then over to the hands of Lovely. Lovely, he'll take a pull-up 3. Woo-hoo! Caleb Lovely, hand in his face. It doesn't matter. Nothing but net there for the senior.
And Coach Wise, not extremely thrilled still, but he's got to be able to ease up just a little bit and let these guys go on out there to play. Caleb Lovely has 12 now. That's going to be a nominee for Solid Brick Player of the Game, seeing where this thing goes.
And I know you love talking about early talks of the Solid Brick Player of the Game. As you mentioned, Caleb Lovely in that early conversation as they're down 7 right now to Ashland of Kentucky. Lovely drives, kicks it out to his man Haney, and Haney can't get it to fall. Haney a little frustrated, he can't get anything to fall right now. Breeze and the Tomcats coming up, setting up their offense.
It's okay to be frustrated, and you have to look at yourself at some point. Not many timeouts either. These games have been kind of smooth flowing, and each one of these teams, you know, you get your timeouts every now and again as a big man fall hard there, and number 2, Tyson Lalonde from Ashland. But with about 2 minutes remaining in this contest, and now South Point checking in, big number 50. And I'm looking at the
Jalen Anderson.
Jalen Anderson, okay. So he's seeing his first time on the floor here this evening. He's a senior. So just with 2 minutes left, let's get on in and see what he's got to offer.
Like you just mentioned, 2 minutes left here in this second quarter. Still a 7-point lead for the Tomcats of Ashland. The ball is going to be inbounded here into Freeze.
Size-wise, I think this could be a good matchup for Nate Freeze with Anderson on him.
Freeze.
50 versus 33, you see him there at the top of the key.
Can be a good matchup. Maybe Freeze sees it as a mismatch. As that's a good take there by, I believe that was, Braxton Jennings. Good kiss off the glass. Lovely brings it up for the Pointers, driving baseline. Ends up losing control, but last touch there by Ashland.
And Jennings taking full responsibility for that and just saying, hey, no, it was me. You know, it went off me, bad communication. And I like that. I see a lot of humility in this Ashland team. And sometimes it's just what you need, you know, admit when you're wrong, take responsibility, and move forward.
Pull up 3 by Lovely in the corner. That one's just off the mark. Loose ball ends up finding the hands of Caleb Clark. Up to Freeze. Freeze moves it up to Jennings. Jennings out to the corner for 3. That one is just missed by Sam Lyons. First time calling his name tonight. Coach Wise, South Point, saying, hey, let's just relax here. Minute left. Caleb Lovely drive down the lane, and a beautiful little runner there for the senior guard, bringing his total up to 14 in this first half. Freeze with the ball, passes to Jennings here with 50 seconds remaining. Being guarded tightly by Ethan Lane. Ball gets worked around to Freeze. Freeze pump fake, good pump fake there, able to drive, can't get the finger roll to fall.
You know, and as you mentioned, Seth, when you said, you know, Coach Wise kind of seemed a little more chill there in just these last couple minutes. And when you have your players going out and doing everything you coach them to do, and they're able to kind of govern themselves on the floor, you don't have to be rah-rah about everything. Just let these guys go out here and do what they know they're supposed to do. And that's why Lovely, he's a 22-point-a-game type guy. Well, look at him right now. All of a sudden, the lead was 14, and now it's 5.
Yeah, and I was just getting ready to mention, when you have a guy like Lovely out that on the floor, that does take a little bit of stress off for the coach. Final 3 seconds here. Braxton Jennings on the drive, and he gets the reverse to fall before the buzzer. Braxton Jennings with a couple baskets here in that second quarter to help his team to a 35-25 lead. Ashland on top of South Point here at the Battle of the 740 in Portsmouth, Ohio at Shawnee State University here on Yamo Sports.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
pretzel bun on the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere! What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref, let the boys play.
Man, Rick, these boys is out here getting it. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hold up. You a football player, man. We talking basketball. My fault.
Hold up, bro.
They out here.
Man, I made all city balling. For Beechcroft, man. Come on, man. You
Okay,
remember?
respect.
You know.
Well, look, they out here balling
Man,
today.
balling.
Hey,
balling.
Now I'm gonna tell you, you know what they should be doing when they done when the game over and they done balling. You know what they should be doing?
Training, trying to get better so they can go to the next level.
No,
What you talking about, man?
man, they should be listening to us.
Oh,
Every
okay.
Saturday morning, man, they should be listening to the Rick and
Reese
Reese show
You
on
right.
Joy 107.1 FM.
Okay.
And then go get with your trainer at about 11.
I ain't gonna forgive you for saying I ain't no baller though.
Nah, it's all good, man. Super salute, man. They out here getting it in, man.
Yamo Media.
So, let's keep enjoying the game, man.
Yes, sir.
At the Ohio High School Athletic Association, our student athletes are going pro at being
coachable,
a good student,
responsible,
dependable,
respectful. I'm going pro at being a good student, a good student, a good teammate, responsible.
I'm going pro at being
Coachable,
a good student,
dependable, a good teammate.
representing my school.
I'm going pro at being
a good student,
a good student,
Responsible.
Let's go pro at respecting the game.
Respect the game.
respect the game.
respect the game,
Respect the game.
respect the game. responsible,
A good student.
Responsible.
Dependable.
respectful. I'm going pro at being a good student,
A good student.
a good teammate,
Responsible.
I'm going pro at being
coachable,
A good student.
dependable.
a good teammate.
Representing my school.
I'm going pro at being
A good student.
a good student,
Responsible.
Let's go pro at respecting the game.
Respect the game.
Respect the game.
respect the game,
Respect the game.
respect the game.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it
On the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere. What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. It's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref, let the boys play.
Man, Rick, these boys is out here getting it. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Hold up. You a football player, man. We talking basketball. My fault.
Hold up, man.
They out here.
I made all city balling.
Oh.
Beechcroft, man.
Okay,
man.
okay, respect. Well, look, they out here balling today.
Balling.
Hey,
balling.
now I'm gonna tell you, you know what they should be doing when they done, when the game over and they done balling. You know what they should be doing?
Training, trying to get better so they can go to the next level.
No.
What you talking about, man?
Man, they should be listening to us.
Oh,
Every
okay.
Saturday morning, man, they should be listening to the Rick and Reese Show
You
on
right.
Joy 107.1 FM.
Okay.
And then go get with your trainer at about 11.
I ain't gonna forgive you for saying I ain't a baller, though.
Nah, it's all good, man. Super salute, man. They out here getting it in, man.
Yamo Media.
So, you know, let's keep enjoying the game, man.
Yes, sir.
Back here at Shawnee State University for the Battle of the 740 presented by Yamo Sports. Here for our final matchup of the evening between South Point High School and Ashland, Kentucky. But before that gets started, of course, a big final thank you to our sponsors again here to help make these broadcasts possible with the likes of Wendy's, B-Dubs, Subway.
Yep, you got the Scioto River too.
Yeah, thank you for saying that word for me.
Yeah, Glockner family of dealerships, Monroe's Collision, the Portsmouth Brewing Company, of course, and Holiday Inn.
And Caleb Lovely taking no time to get things started here for the Pointers as a 16-point first half for the senior. It brings his total up to 18. Seth Donahoe here alongside me, Julian Jackson, our 7th game and our last game of the evening here. Again, the inaugural first time, or the first year that we're having the battle in the 740.
Yeah,
and it has
battle
been a
in the
fun
614 coming up next week, couple weeks.
Battle of the 614 in the 614. That's going to be the girls tournament
And Yamo's got a huge slate of hockey, basketball, just a big full month here in December. And then, of course, coming up there in January and February, you're going to be looking at state tournaments and districts for hockey and just so much stuff going on.
It's just so nice, you know, during the school year, it's nice to have the sports back. I mean, sports all year round. Here to start as we see the kick out here and missed by, or I'm sorry, not the miss by Freeze, but a travel as he shuffled his feet, trying to get that shot. Freeze with an exciting 9 points and 3 threes in the first quarter, but went 0 for 2 in that second quarter and scoreless. First quarter, Julian, as we had mentioned, and as most games have started today, first quarter, first few minutes, a little slow, but that second quarter, South Point High School really starting to cut into that deficit, and now they're only down by 4 right here.
Yeah, no, this is huge for this squad. They are coming in sharp, and there goes Caleb Lovely again for another one. And now he's got 20 points, so he's already kind of met that mark where he's at 22 points per game from last season. But the All-State and All-District player, he means business when he's walking into this, and I think it's just taken South Point a little while to come up, and wow, all of a sudden there, another three-pointer for. As soon as they get a little bit closer, then Ashland pulls back away.
And that 3 knocked down by Xander Carter as Lovely gets the ball. 3 for him. Caleb Lovely, let me show you why I'm all district. Let me show you why I'm one of the best players potentially here in this state. 24 points for him in this game, down by 2. Kick out for 3. That one by Xander Carter again falls short. Carter Smith bringing the ball up for the Pointers. Facing these Tomcats out of Ashland, Kentucky. Nice drive there by Smith, absorbs the contact, but good defense there by Lalonde to go straight up. Cause a tough shot. Tyson Lalonde finds Xander Carter in the corner, up top to Freeze. Good ball movement here by the Tomcats, and Asher Adkins kind of just looks like he threw that one up and wasn't able to convert on that one.
Yeah, this team, they have to keep on digging back. Now only down 2 with under 6 minutes to play in the third. And we've still got a rocking crowd in our atmosphere here at the Waller Gymnasium at Shawnee State University. And, you know, no one's really going away. Now, not everyone here is as loud as it was before. We don't have cheerleaders in this contest either. But, yeah, we certainly got a lot of parents and fans out here right now for this last game.
Man, and great hustle there. Sliding into the bleachers, Tyson Lalonde putting everything out there as you go. You see this loose ball here, and just look at this hustle here by the senior.
I didn't quite get to it, but it's a lot about that effort. I'm glad that they have those benches reseated because he would have taken a tough tumble if those were brought all the way out.
Yeah, I think a little bit closer, we might have had some fans there to be able to catch them. Lovely drive. She's going to kick it out to Carter Smith. Smith for 3. That one's just short. Braxton Jennings, he gets the rebound. He quickly pushes it up. Doesn't quite have the numbers. Dishes it back to Freeze. Freeze says, I'll go in here. Lay in this finger roll. Nice lay in there by Freeze.
He's definitely showing versatility in this, Nate Freeze. Very impressed from the very start of this game when he's been able to throw up those threes. He started off 3 for 3 from 3. And he's wearing number 33, but 3 times 3 is 9. That's what he had in the first half, and then a finger roll right there to throw in a little something extra on there. So that guy is definitely somebody to continue to watch throughout this season. I guess if you're in Kentucky or into Kentucky basketball, but we know Kentucky's big on basketball.
Yeah, they are big on basketball.
They've got this university down there. I don't know if you've heard of them. You know, they're the Wildcats.
We see, look over some highlights here after the South Point timeout. And again, this is really the guy that we are watching tonight. Caleb Lovely with 24 points through almost 2.5 quarters. Able to get by Jennings, lay it in with his weak hand, the right hand. Bringing the ball up the floor, and just a good job here by Lovely. Hand in the face, it doesn't matter, nothing but net. The calmness, the confidence, the coolness he plays with, shows why he should be one of the highly touted recruits here in the state of Ohio.
That's real. That's real. I don't know. I don't know what his resume is looking like, where his looks are coming from. I think some of our partners we work with, between the Battle of the 740 and the Battle of the 614, could probably enlighten us with a little biography or a little write-up on him. But, I mean, I will say right now that Lovely is definitely going somewhere. You're not just going to be all state and all district and score 22 points a game and not get any looks. So,
yeah.
I mean, now a fun fact from a previous game, one of our solid brick players of the game, and Van
in Fairland, I believe is what you're mentioning.
No, I'm mentioning my guy
Peter Van.
I'll find it and I'll get back to you, man. But that kid,
it's a name that you can't really just remember on the top of your head the first time.
Parker Van Englenhoven.
Englenhoven's
a sophomore. He was our solid brick player of the game for Olentangy Liberty versus Huntington, and I don't want to say he doesn't like basketball.
Yeah, you had mentioned off of there and actually in between games that Englenhoven is actually committed as a sophomore, but not to basketball.
Play baseball at Louisville. So that's unreal. So good for him. I said, what are your ambitions moving forward? He goes, I was just out there playing with my boys. He said, I'm actually going to play baseball at Louisville. I was like, oh, well, I'll just take this trophy back.
And that goes out to what we talked about during that game in Olentangy Liberty and those Olentangy schools always having good such athletic programs and athletes. And we're going to get an offensive foul here on Tyson Lalonde. And we're going to get a charge call here as Lalonde can't believe it.
Yeah, that offensive foul, that's hurting them.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of the lowering of the shoulder caused the ref to blow the whistle on that one.
And this is where you're going to see, though, that South Point could go off and take a run now, because I don't think that Ashland has any particular way to contain Caleb Lovely. You're not going to bottle this kid up. I mean, he's running right into two defenders. He's running into the paint with two defenders. And still, I mean, there he missed, but another good take here on the other end by Xander Carter from Ashland.
Those misses make up for the makes that in the scoring he's able to produce.
Of course. And
they understand he's not going to be able to shoot 100% each game.
Right, and the lead's only 3, but they're just well within reach. I think South Point is very, very well coached, and I think their ceiling is high this season. I mean, last year it looks like they had their 5th consecutive title, or they had their 16th consecutive regional title. Their 5th consecutive.
And 16th total.
Yeah, I mean.
The no comma messed me up as well.
Okay. Wow.
Yes, 5 consecutive and 16 total regional titles for the Ashland Tomcats.
That's for Ashland, and then on the other side, though, I mean, South Point coming off a 22-5 season where they lost to Afrocentric. So it's like, they're a heck of a ball team. Do not count South Point out.
Yeah, final 2 minutes and 20 seconds here. It's only a 5-point lead for Ashland. Ooh, nice handles there by Xander Carter. But, this is one of the more exciting games that we were looking forward to. 2 great teams, as we've seen, Ashland able to shoot the ball. And then for South Point, Caleb Lovely just putting the team on his back.
This is how you want to end the game. No matter how long it is, no matter how many hours you put in behind it, this is, and then that's due to the organization and scheduling and, just knowing that you've got 2 powerhouse teams of the sort that are going to come out and really play well. I'd have to say that Kentucky's got to be one of the better teams. They made it all the way to the Kentucky High School Athletic Association Sweet 16 last year, but like I said, I mean, Kentucky's basketball, they're holding high esteem, and Ohio is as well. Ohio's on their way up there, so This is a good matchup.
2 solid programs here with good history. As that's Xander Carter at the line, knocking his first of 2 free throws down, extending that lead to 6 over South Point here. 1:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, we're gonna see these guys really start running the Tomcats now. Seem like they're in full control, but the Pointers aren't far behind. It's the lead's 7 now.
And we had mentioned a few games ago, and we all know basketball is a game of runs, and we can never count anything over until the final whistle has gone off. Pointers looking to get something going here, down 7 in this third quarter, and a little miscommunication there between Davin Lewis and Caleb Lovely. Lovely quickly bringing the ball up the floor, had his man on the other end, ends up finding him. Davin Lewis to Caleb Lovely didn't work, but vice versa it does, and all of a sudden the other way, within the blink of an eye, is Ashland on the other end of the floor.
Well, and it's the same guy there as we see.
That made the layup. Davin Lewis makes the layup, and look at him quickly moving down the other end of the floor, but not fast enough. Davin Lewis, the first person back, traveling the furthest from making a layup to traveling the other end and drawing a foul.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, that's incredible effort there from the freshman. And I said, you know, there's 3 freshmen on here who are likely going to bid in, and Devon Lewis is one of those guys. You see him, you see Ethan Hunt. He wears number 32, and then London Jackson. All these guys, you know, contributors to this team. And when you're going to come into a program like this, who is 22-5 overall, you got to be sure that you're coming in and you got a full head of steam. Otherwise, you're not going to be playing on the varsity squad.
Braxton Jennings, great, solid defense there as he causes a turnover as Carter Smith couldn't hold on to it. Ends up poking it away here. Good active hands by Jennings. And then maybe just a little frustration there, foul there by Carter Smith, as that's going to be his first foul.
And Carter Smith getting a little handsy there, but you know, if you can work in some frustration, I haven't seen much emotion. Wow.
Xander Carter from straight away, another 3 here for the Tomcats. And head coach Ryan Bonner, second-year head coach, excited to see his team up and potentially starting to pull away in this game, actively talking to his team out there on the floor in these final 40 seconds. 3-pointer is up by Lovely, no good. But Devon Lewis there to get the offensive rebound. Finds Carter Smith, deep 3, that one's good from well behind the college 3-point line. Carter Smith showing his range.
Every time you think that they're within or they're getting out of reach, they bring it on back. The lead was just as small as 2, and now it was back up to 10, and then a 3-pointer. Now it's only 7, Seth.
The game of runs as we know it here in this lovely sport. Xander Carter all the way to the basket. Go ahead and count it for him. Xander Carter going to the line, and a chance for a 3-point play. Foul going to go against Caleb Lovely. That'll be his second foul.
Yeah, that's phenomenal effort there on both sides right now. That's valiant effort from both of these teams. You know, as we've been saying all day, no one's coming in here to lose, no matter if it counts toward the season or not. I don't care if it's a pickup game against the boys. And you talked about it earlier, you know, you'll go out and end up getting hurt playing basketball at 27 years old. And, you know, these guys are laying this stuff on the line no matter where they're at. You put me out there to play right now, I'm going to play as hard as I can. I don't know how long I'm going to last.
Last 3 seconds here this quarter, and coast to coast goes Caleb Lovely to round out this third quarter. He's got 29 through 3 quarters, ladies and gentlemen. A whole other 8 minutes to play. However, it's Ashland Tomcats on top with a 51-43 lead. You're listening to the Battle of the 740, presented by Yamo Sports.
You'll never guess what we're doing to the Baconator. We're putting it...
pretzel bun on the Baconator. Catherine, you seeing this?
Posters everywhere.
What?
The Baconator you love with a new pretzel twist. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new pretzel Baconator.
Football there. Football there. Football everywhere! What? How is that a flag?
He landed on him after the sack. That's roughing the passer.
Huh. Okay, what if he hit him high?
Roughing the passer.
And low?
Roughing the passer.
Well, what if he couldn't stop his body like a human, so he ends up trampling him, and then he's like, oh no, and he tries to go back, and he tramples him some more, and he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a buffalo. I don't know my strength compared to you.
Wait, what?
Come on, ref, let the boys play.
Back here at Shawnee State University in Portsmouth, Ohio for our final game and our final quarter here on Saturday night for the Battle of the 7-4-0, presented by Yamo Sports. Seth Donahoe alongside Julian Jackson as we approach this and start this fourth and final quarter where Ashland of Kentucky has a 8-point lead and go ahead and make it 11 after a Tyson Lalonde 3. But all of a sudden, here comes South Point quickly the other way. Zathan Haney can't get it to fall. All of a sudden, the Tomcats quickly mushing the ball up the floor. Again, they've got the 11-point lead here, 54-43. Nice drive here, and nice finish by Asher Adkins as he's able to absorb the contact and finish strong here. And a timeout here on the floor as a little miscommunication about getting that ball back into play, but nonetheless, Caleb Lovely will go ahead and inbound the ball here. And my partner, Julian Jackson, having a message here for the fans at home.
Yep, I'll get to that here in just a minute once we catch to a break. But right now, this game seems like it's heating up with a 13-point lead, Seth. You know, with 17 minutes and 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go. That really seems like something. But something I did want to share with you all is the college recruiting process along with the transfer portal. So the recruiting process now is rapidly evolving and is more complicated than it ever has been. So On Top Consulting is here to help you. It's an organization run by college coaches who've created a business built around educating families on the details of the recruiting process and teaching student athletes how to put themselves in the best position. So, on Sunday, January 7th, join OTC as they team up with the Brick League, Midwest Hoops, and IBT to hold the very first of many recruiting seminars. The first event going to be held, it's going to cost $40, going to be via Zoom, and then by signing up for that, you're going to get a 25% discount code for any service you use with OTC in the future. For more consulting or for more information on Top Consulting, you can go to their website at ontopconsulting.net and register for the event. You can also go to their Instagram bio at _ontopconsulting. We hope to see you there.
Thank you there for that message, Julian Jackson. Alongside me, I'm Seth Donahoe, again for our battle in the 7-4-0 here in Portsmouth, Portsmouth, Ohio at Shawnee State University. Up and in!
As we watch a team from Kentucky come into Ohio in the 7-4-0 and beaten up on South Point right now. The lead is now 15, Seth.
Yeah, Xander Carter able to drive to the basket, get the layup up, and gets fouled and goes to the line for a traditional three-point play as we have a timeout here taken by South Point, I believe here, just a 30-second timeout. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys also be on the lookout on our X page at Yamo Media and our Instagram page at Yamo Media 614 as there will be interviews from all of our Solid Brick players of the game throughout the day. And entering this fourth quarter, Julian, I, again, know you love the topic of the early conversation of Solid Brick, and I'm sure you've got a few players in mind.
The leading contender right now, Solid Brick player of the game, in my mind, is Caleb Lovely at a whopping 29 points. He does have 3 fouls right now as well, but his team, unfortunately, is not in the lead. But my other contenders I'm looking at include number 2 from Ashland as well as number 1, and those players are tied up. Number 1 has 16 points, and that's Xander Carter, the junior. And then
Tyson
the
Lalonde.
other one, Tyson Lalonde, has got 15. So
Xander Carter here actually at the line to add to his total. I believe you had those switched up. I think both players are tied here with 16 points apiece. Again, my eyesight is getting bad, but now the scoreboard updates.
Yeah, Xander Carter and Tyson Lalonde, though, 2 juniors, very strong in their efforts here to come out and play this game. So it's really going to come down to the wire for the Solid Brick player of the game.
Lalonde and Xander Carter having half of the team's points, 32 out of the 61 for these Tomcats. And it's honestly thanks to, well, we mentioned Xander Carter, majority of his points coming here in the second half as he started to take control a little bit, be more aggressive down low underneath the basket.
And sometimes when you have one guy who's, I don't want to say that Lovely's kind of taking up all the glory, but I would say, you know, you have one guy who's scoring really heavily. Everyone else is in single digits. Lovely has 29. His co-starters are sitting at 2 points, 0 points, 6 points, and another 2 points. That just doesn't fare very well for the team. So even though Lovely's able to do it, he's not able to make up the entire 61 points that Ashland has. So having team contributors in double digits really makes a difference.
Nate Freese's 3 is off the mark. As we're approaching 5 minutes and 20 seconds here in this fourth and final quarter, 61-47 lead for the Ashland Tomcats on top of the South Point Pointers. Caleb Lovely step back, long range shot from straight on is off the mark, and quickly up ahead comes Asher Adkins and company. They'll go ahead and pull it back out here to Carter.
At this point, Seth, Ashland can really take their time. It doesn't seem like they're showing any signs of slowing down right now. However, they can just kind of chill out as Freese goes up and bats down another three-pointer.
Another 3 for Nate Freese. That is going to be number 4 on the game for him, I believe.
I believe that's going to get him to 12 points. I thought he had some other scores. I don't know if they have him logged into the board right now.
Yeah, I don't think the scoreboard here has the updated players on the floor. Caleb Lovely's 3 is up and short. Here comes Xander Carter quickly the other way. Not going to be able to be slowed down by Josh Childers as he goes coast to coast and finishes. Xander Carter starting to make his mark into helping close out this game here for the Tomcats as we have another timeout taken here.
Might be looking at Nate Freese being one of the candidates for the solid brick player of the game.
Can't count him out. He has been knocking down threes left and right today.
Yeah, they don't have him posted up, but right now he's got to have, I think he had 11 or 12 at the half, and with that 3 in addition, that's got to put him at somewhere 14 or 15 points.
He had 9 points at the in the first half. All 9 points coming in that first quarter, 3 for 3 from 3. And then knocking down that big 3 right there as well. And also the one finger roll layup that he has. So he is up there around 14 or 15 points as well.
I'd argue that his impact is huge. His hustle. He's a big body. He doesn't really look like the type of guy who go out there and splash threes, but tonight, that's exactly what he's doing.
And that's exactly what Coach wants you to think.
Exactly. I mean, his team's leading by 19 points right now. They busted this thing wide open. I like to think that he has a lot to do with it, especially their early leads in the first half. So I'll see some, I'll give a little Nate Freese nomination. He typically wears number 35. I'm guessing that's a home jersey. They also wear 33. A couple players in some different jerseys here with Ashland, Kentucky. So let me see. Yeah, I mean, he's a key returner to this team. They have several guys on this team that are big. And Asher Adkins, Nate Freese, Braxton Jennings, Cam Davis. I don't think we've called Cameron Davis's name all day there for Ashland. They probably just haven't had to use him, or he's just inactive tonight. He wears number 14.
Coming out of the timeout here, South Point trying to cut into this, as you said, 19-point deficit with 4 minutes here left in this fourth quarter. Ball on the floor, good hustle there, but Nate Freese reads that pass.
And Freese moves well dribbling the ball. I mean, he's no putz out there. He gets around, and you know, sometimes they don't necessarily look like the player who they are, and exactly what you said is probably what Coach wants you to think. This guy can do it all.
Big benefit is having a player like that, is they're able to expand the playbook. Really, he can play inside, he can play outside. Quickly up ahead to Devon Lewis as some fans wanted to travel there, but no whistle blown. Wilbur driving in, kicks it to Lewis again. Lewis's floater rattles in and out. And trying to go for the ball there, instead going to get called for the foul is going to be Devon Lewis.
Yeah, Nate Freese in the area that time around, and I think that he just went in there and picked that ball away that made some contact with Freese instead. And you can't do that. It's going to be another reach. It's hard. It's hard, especially when it's this late in the game. You want to pick at everything that you can and
try to do everything you can to battle back.
It's just really not floating your way as we're nearing 3 minutes, the end of this contest. That will be the conclusion of our first day of the battle in the 7-4-0 here at Shawnee State University in the Waller Gymnasium.
First day of the first tournament, about to be the first showcase here in Portsmouth. About to be in the books.
Happy to have been a part of history here and seen a lot of good basketball today. Tomorrow, there's only 5 games,
but a bunch of good matchups.
1 girls game. You know, I thought there was another girls game. I guess there's only just the Portsmouth versus Fort Fry.
It does look to be that way, but
on my schedule. I'll see if there's an updated one, though. But, yeah, tomorrow, 12:30 is Belpre versus South Webster boys. Yeah, there's just 1 girls game at 2 o'clock. That's Port Fry versus the Portsmouth girls. 3:30 is Valley of Lucasville versus Federal Hockey. That's a men's game. 5 o'clock is Wheelersburg versus Harvest Prep. That's a big one looking forward to. And then finally finishes off 6:30, Uniota versus Fairland.
We've seen the Fairland girls team this afternoon as sophomore Bailey Russell put up a nice 31 points against 2022 state champion, the Reynoldsburg Lady Raiders.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, that was huge as Caleb Lovely now just matches that point total. He has 31 as well. Carter Smith with the steal, can't get it to fall. The corner 3. Lovely trying to get that offensive rebound. Instead, Xander Carter pulls away with it. Xander Carter, no one in the middle to stop him, and he's just going to take it all the way to the basket and say, I'll go ahead and take my 20 points now. Thank you very much.
If it's open, I will take it. No games played here. Like I said, this Kentucky team seemed like they came out here, and this was a business call today. This wasn't, we're going to go out and just have a pickup game. No, they came out here for business, and what they're doing is taking care of it. They lead by 19 with under 2 minutes to play.
And Julian, they have your guy up on the scoreboard now, number 33, Nate Freeze. He has 14 points.
Solid. Nate Freeze, definitely one of those top guys, and you can't leave out Xander Carter. I think that Ashland altogether, this team from Kentucky they're good. They're good. You don't need me to tell you that if you've been watching.
Again, 5 consecutive regional titles for the Ashland Tomcats.
This is that kind of thing when I'm like, can we get a bigger showcase somewhere, please, and invite everyone? Like, I don't want Ashland to be limited to the battle in the 7-4-0. I want them to come on up for a big series. Maybe we can throw something together with Yamo and Elevated and just have the best from the tri-state. Heck, you know what? Let's give everyone a shout. Hey, West Virginia, bring it in. Kentucky, bring it in. Indy, bring it in. You know what? Want to get some from Pennsylvania? Why not? Let's get some from Michigan too, and let's just get gritty. Let's get gritty, but let's do it in Columbus.
Let's make it I think you might be onto something.
Let me do it from home. Well, I don't live there anymore, but you know, a little centralized, kind of. I know everyone else has to travel. Get them some hotels, so everyone start saving your money now. So that's the last thing parents want is more AAU fees.
Yeah. Under the final minute here in this fourth quarter, Carter Smith, he's going to take a wing 3, and that one's going to be just off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Asher Adkins. He's going to get fouled here by Devon Lewis, it seems to be. And Julian here, 37 seconds remaining. Couple options that you have for the solid brick player of the game. But if you had to name one, who would you think that you would give it to? The likes of Caleb Lovely, he has scored 31 points. However, unfortunately, they are on the losing side, but not to discredit what he has done so far in this game. Xander Carter, he's been able to step up heavily here in this fourth quarter.
He's definitely had an incredible performance over here. I don't want to take anything away from him, but also I just want everyone to know that, you know, I'm unsure. I'm unsure right now. I think Xander Carter's probably the front runner for me.
Well, I'll ask you here in about 35 seconds.
Yeah.
As this game is going to dwindle
Xander
down.
Carter's probably going to be he is the front runner. It's obvious, and I know it seems like we're really just going off of points, but Carter he's been moving around. He's laying his body on the line. He's still on the court now, so he's clearly one of those guys that Ashland likes having around, and he's not one of those key returning starters.
He is actually.
They said here. Other key returners, so he is the returning starter.
Okay.
He was third-team All-State with Kentucky, which I said, is pretty tough. He's a top 20 player in the state of Kentucky, and he was only third-team All-State. Yeah, Xander Carter, Brick League solid brick player of the game.
And not to mention, he is committed to Liberty University for basketball. So
hey, you get your transfers and all that kind of stuff too nowadays. So who knows where we could end up seeing him? Could be playing and beating up against the Buckeyes one day.
Only time will tell. But as mentioned, Xander Carter is so far leading the way for Julian Jackson's solid brick player of the game. As we're approaching these final 20 seconds here, Tomcats with that 71-55 lead. Nate Freeze with the ball. He's just going to seem to dribble it out here these final 10 seconds. Mason Wolf checking into the game and getting some action here. And passing it out. And that is how it will end. So with our solid brick player of the game, Julian Jackson.
Xander Carter.
Xander
the
Carter.
Junior, one of the top players in Kentucky. Yeah, I don't really know any other way to say about it. So it's going to go to and he's only a junior. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Top 20 player
High ceiling.
in the state.
High ceiling.
Right here in this line, we see Xander Carter and Caleb Lovely giving each other a little extra love, respecting each other and the talent that they have. Caleb Lovely scoring 31 for South Point. It's not enough, though, as Ashland of Kentucky comes here into Portsmouth and knocks off the pointer 71-55 behind Xander Carter's 22 points. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been one heck of a ride today, but guess what? It's not over. Tomorrow we have 5 games for you guys to tune back into here on the YamoMedia.com and the Yamo Media app. However, for tonight, we will go ahead and rack things up for the entire production team and Julian Jackson. I'm Seth Donahoe. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been the Battle of the 740 presented by Yamo Sports. We'll see you next time.
Have a good night.